Welcome to WROL Broadcast. I am Hate Mail, and with me today we have the whole crew of VIP with the exception of Joker. He's been lost in the Star Wars franchise back on the Enterprise somewhere. So.
Oh boy.
Lost in time.
I thought he's drinking himself to death.
Either way, both good options.
Yeah. With me today we have Loot.
Hello.
Doombox.
That's me. Hey.
Hawkeye.
Hey, everybody.
Kage.
Hello.
Mr. Zubaz. Or just Zubaz, excuse me.
Yeah. You've contractually obligated me for, I think, 20 minutes, so make them count.
And
Okay.
Tuditron.
You all are so fucking depressed.
I know.
Luke, didn't you just win Siege? I thought I saw your name on the leaderboard.
Yeah, Loot.
Oh yeah, that was totally me.
Back the truck up was the Alliance. That's crazy.
I don't know if I've ever heard Lute's voice before until today.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't listen to fucking any of our content?
No. I have not.
I could have told you that without having to
I
ask.
thought, well, didn't you attend a few of the tier list episodes against your better
No.
judgment?
No, I there was like one or no, I think everything.
No,
that
you
I
were
did
on at
was-
least one, but maybe Loot wasn't there.
I was
Yeah.
on one of the burger shacks when you were there.
Okay, I could see that.
Anyway, we
While
just wanted to
back.
get as many of the VIP, which actually surprisingly got almost everybody, which I didn't think was going to happen about 11 minutes ago. But
We came in to record a regular episode together when we were still doing it, but apparently the last episode got all of us.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we're kind of doing the DC and Infinite Crisis or End of Days or whatever the hell you want to call this. We're all kind of checked out. I think I don't. Is any of you actually playing the game still?
Yeah.
I play every day. I play every
Yeah.
day.
I mean, with how long we've spent on it, I feel like, giving it a proper send-off. So I'm doing my daily logins. I'm not playing a lot, but I'm going to be there to see it go.
Yeah,
I'm logging in every day. I'm just not doing like my 27 PvPs anymore.
I was gonna do a memorial video and like record all of the character models and all the animations and shit, and now I'm like, f that.
Father?
yeah.
I'm making sure to log in every day so that we can get the 5,000 Void Scanner spins.
What day is that? Is it the last day?
No, it's
No,
like, it's
5
like
million gems is the last day.
it's like 3 or 4 till the end, and I was like, that is the worst gift ever.
It really
Oh,
is.
it's you then.
Speaking of terrible gifts, actually, man, the little twinge of irony that all of us made such heartfelt requests, and then immediately everything was made free and all of it was
completely
validated.
negated.
Yeah, it's fine.
I
Well,
still came out ahead because there was no rocket or icon sale.
Hawkeye, you were very quiet.
Or maybe you're just loud.
No, that's possible. I've got a big mouth.
I think he said something about there was no rocket or icon.
yeah.
Correct.
They
No.
got
Hawkeye actually did come out very ahead because he got to make M4 very jealous before we knew we were all going to get unlimited rebirth crystals.
Yeah, god damn it.
I'm really so for context for listeners, the NDA group did put a request into Reeves for X item or whatever, and I think 4 out of 7 of us actually got it. Mine got fucked because I asked for all the skins in the game, which they just ended up putting in the store, so they'd never just give it to me, even though I missed the fucking Katana day. And that's why that was a big part of also why I was like, oh, well, now I can't do the memorial video because I don't have the fucking katana skin. So
Yeah, I actually got 2 requests because one of my requests was for Judy not to get his request. So
Oh, that's right, because my original request was to give Ra's al Ghul the 100% true damage on his 3.
Well, now that we're no longer bound by NDA, do we want to talk about the kits for next month?
Oh, dude. Joker broke that next kit, dude, man. I think Cheshire's out. He's gonna be gone out of the meta.
They should have introduced Mr. Mitzpitalik or whatever for the final day.
Do you guys anticipate anything on the final day, or do we think what we
They're
see?
gone. Hey, Mel, they're
No,
gone.
I mean,
they're not
I
doing
expect there to be
anything.
nothing because Reeves doesn't appear to be around anymore.
No, she left. Like,
Personally, I hope they remove all the characters out of the watchtower so it's just empty and nothing's happening. No events, no gear event, campaign is closed. Like you can't click on anything. It's just an empty room.
I think they'll send out a letter on the last day.
Yeah, I
thank you
think
for
so,
playing
too.
DC Legends. And that's it.
Thanks for the money. Bye.
Well, I'm not. I was gonna uninstall the game today on this cast, but I think I'm gonna not uninstall it so I can see what happens on the very last day. And there's gonna be nothing that happens, so it's gonna
Probably.
be very anticlimactic.
Yeah, they just
Like all of DCL ever.
Yes.
it'll be out of sync.
I bet-
Just that's what we're gonna have on the last day.
Actually, you know what I was
Interesting.
thinking about earlier today when we were gonna do this podcast. I was thinking, Zubaz got his tune reworked, and then they didn't do it.
Oh, that was the worst.
oh god. Yeah, because then
They
fucking
gave you
fucked
a
me
kit.
off a little bit.
They were like,
was
"We're gonna
unbelievable.
rework Garth." Oh wait, we changed our mind.
That
Oh
was
yeah, they're like,
brutal.
just kidding. They're just kidding.
So fun fact though, most of the stuff that I had requested to put in that Garth kit made its way into the recent Zatanna.
Zatanna.
So it wasn't a total loss, but also that sucked. I don't know what we're not supposed to share or what we can share. Or
I don't
can't
think it
share,
matters
but,
anymore.
I don't think it matters.
Had we made it to December, that Garth kit was again going to see the light of day. So
I think I suspect they knew that they were going to close the game earlier this year. That's why they were like, "Hey guys, what do you think we should put in the game?" And they just like,
Nah, well, I think they
about-
knew it was on a short shelf life. They may not have knew exactly when it was going to happen, or that, it's just, a lot of times if you've ever been part of companies that are about to go under, you get the vibe that it's on its last legs.
But at the
oh,
same
fun
time,
fact. I used to work for Robinhood, and right before they laid us off, you could tell the company vibes was like not there, and the CEOs were like, "Hey guys, let's do a huddle. I just want to let you know I really like you all." And then we got news the next week that half of us was laid off. But yeah,
Hey guys, y'all are my best friends. 1 week later, here's your pink slip. Bye.
yeah.
Every company that I
tried to
was laid off
revitalize.
from, it was not like that. It was pretty grim for like 2 quarters in a row. You were getting things are not good, and then
Yeah.
we were laid off.
See, I think that this was more likely one of those situations. I feel like they probably had kind of the executioner's axe over their head and said, "Hey, get it turned around, or we're going to shut it down." And they did not get it turned around.
Yeah, that's typically what happens.
Honestly,
So yeah,
I'm so sad too because me and Hawk Guy did a little thing, and we were like, "Oh man, we're so optimistic for the future." I don't think this is a sign that the end is coming at all. And literally the next month, the end was coming, and I was like, "Oh, I guess we're the assholes." Whoops.
Is that when you saw like the chaos calendar?
Yeah,
Yes.
we were like, "Oh man, is this a battle pass? Is this the future?"
It was cool. The chaos calendar was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my word.
they got on Twitter though, and they were like, "Show us your pets if you want the Red Lantern kitty cat thing." And I was like, "Bet," and I put my cat up on Twitter and shit like that. Normally when people put their pussies on Twitter, they get a lot more likes than I do. But
you forgot to link the OnlyFans. That's what.
yeah, I didn't monetize it correctly, but I don't know. I thought they were trying to like do their best to like get us pumped up, and but
I think they
the
were
Red
trying.
Lantern kitty cat thing.
Yeah, I forget its
one
name.
One of my favorite parts of this will always be Tootie's devotion to the DC intellectual property.
man. I'm not a big Lantern head, okay? I'm not fucking what's his name? Du Bois? I'm not fucking Du Bois.
Drax. That's the cat's name is Drax.
That is
That is not the case at all.
Speaking of Du Bois. I thought it was really interesting. Well, not interesting, because obviously nothing in this game is interesting. That WB was like, here's a definitive list. These are what the lanterns are. Because I remember it popped into his chat, and I was like, are all of your lanterns done? They have a list now. And of course they were. But I used to love harassing him, like, where's your RB5 Doomsday? Doomsday has a lantern ring in his kit. I mean, it's broken, but, it's there. What about Adam? Where's your RB5 Adam?
When you preface this with, here's something that's interesting, so that was a lie.
Yeah, I told you immediately afterwards that it wasn't interesting. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna miss you all so much. The other day I said that I was really gonna miss Tootie, and he was like, "I'm not going anywhere." And I just want to be clear that I'm never speaking to any of you ever again.
Good.
That as soon as the game ends, then that's it. This was a good run that we had.
That's fair.
I mean, it's probably true. So
yeah.
This is like the end of high school. You guys remember the end of high school where you're like,
Oh,
guys,
we're gonna
keep
be
in touch.
best friends. We're gonna get in touch, hang out. Never happened.
Yeah, that never happens.
I
You know,
said
you-
on a different episode that we recorded recently that I was like gonna meet someone in the community in person, and at one point, like I was like, "Hey, Mel came to South Dakota," and then I mentioned I almost stayed at Zubaz's house one time.
I am actually going to hang out with Josh and Du Bois in November.
Oh, there you go.
oh, cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Look at that.
I have met members of my alliance in real life.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
The closest I
You guys
got was
we're not gonna.
there's a guy that lives in Minnesota who was in Atlantis After Dark. His name was like Poolman XXX or something. And he said he saw me bartending one day and he was too drunk to realize it was me, but then he had an epiphany the next day and was like, holy shit, I should have said hello. So that was like the closest I got.
You guys
I
could
met up
play
with
DCL
Hate Mail.
together.
Hate Mail and I met up in Florida.
Yeah, we got to hang out for a
Love that.
day, so that was fun.
Did you get fucked up?
No, unfortunately
No, we had lunch.
I thought
Oh.
you guys, for some reason, you guys gave me best friend vibes for the last 30 years.
no.
That's what I thought you
Well,
guys
we did
were.
the crypto podcast stuff together, so we had a lot of interaction.
Hate Mail was in New Orleans like the day before I joined the Owls. And I remember like logging into the line chat, and he posted a picture of the owl in the aquarium, and I was like, I know where that is. What the hell? And then it was too early though. I couldn't be like, yo, we got to go meet. I wouldn't have trusted you. But if anybody's ever in New Orleans, come say hi.
I might be next year, early in the year.
Okay.
Hey,
It's on my bucket list.
Zubaz,
Sometime.
you and me, Zubaz, we're gonna go Mardi Gras together or something.
I did say anybody, and I regret that immediately.
God.
If some of you are in New Orleans, you're welcome to come say hi.
God damn it!
That's funny.
Eh.
I want to do
I mean-
shrimp in New Orleans. That sounds fun during Mardi Gras. That sounds like a wonderful time.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're not actually all parting ways. I mean, most of us are doing at least vaguely similar things where there's some crossover. Like me and Kage play Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I
That's
tried
a you
the new
and
one.
Kanye
I didn't like it at all.
I mean, it's fine. My character's low tier trash like they always are, so yeah.
I heard the new
But-
mobile game was real bad.
That's the one I tried.
I
Oh,
tried
I
it.
play
I
Onslaught? I didn't
playing.
even waste my time.
No, we're playing on the PlayStation, the actual game, not Onslaught.
Yeah.
I'm too old for fighting
They're-
games now. I don't have that hand-eye coordination that I used to have.
It's also just too much energy for like the same thing over and over again. I guess I don't know. DCL was low energy.
What was DCL?
DCL was
Yeah.
low energy. I didn't have to put much thought into it. I just click go and hit auto.
Do you think we put a lot of thought into fighting games? I don't know. Me and Kage are both garbage, so
Yeah.
any amount of thought we
That's
devote to
probably
it, we'll
why.
waste.
Yeah, because you don't put any fucking thought into it.
Yeah.
You might not be garbage if you tried.
Yeah, but then if I try and then I'm garbage, then I wasted that effort, so why would I try?
That's a terrible mentality to have, but okay.
But yeah, are you guys still playing the what is it, Heroes and Villains, whatever, or did the Owls stop playing that?
Several of us are
We're
still playing
it.
Yeah, we're
Okay, well there you go. See,
I would say we are playing it, but there's really not a lot to play.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mega
It's
low
a
energy.
very shallow game.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about low energy? It definitely fits the bill.
You get about maybe 10 minutes a day of playtime.
I uninstalled. I was like, no, this is boring.
I kind of like the collecting aspect. I mean, it's one of those things. It only takes 10, 15 minutes of my day, so it kind of gives me something to do when I'm really bored or just want to tinker around with it. It's supposed to have competitive stuff being added, so I'm like, well, it has potential. It's definitely not great. We'll see.
It's a little ridiculous to try and get your characters though to like end game, or
Hey,
there is no
hey, guys,
first of all,
guys,
wait a
guys,
second,
guys.
there is no end game.
Yeah.
We have a chat going on with all the members of NDA, and we're talking about Mortal Kombat Onslaught and about how trying on a mobile game and being trash is worse than not. Why don't we do some like NDA stuff instead?
Like what?
Make something interesting for the people instead of
what
we're doing at the
behind the
GCL.
scenes. Behind the scenes, there was
That is true.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
that is
awkward.
true. Yeah, and
Was that what you were looking for, Hawkeye?
Maybe something a little juicier, like
There were
secret
actually-
pit sabotage.
There were 2 Kages too, from what I gather.
Oh yeah?
We just replaced one like halfway through. We got sick of
Oh,
the
shit.
old one. Somehow the
What
new
happened
one
to
was way worse. The new one way
God.
worse.
Yet the new Prim was way better. So,
oh yeah. Do we want to talk about Phantom Stranger? Do we know who they are?
I do, and that will be revealed next week.
Next week.
After the game is over.
Yeah.
Are you
Okay. Fine.
serious?
Is it you?
It is not me, but I have received confirmation that it will be revealed next week.
really?
Really?
More so that I'm just forcing them to reveal it. But yes.
Wait. Who is it?
That will be revealed next week, as we just went over. You
Oh.
have to make it to the end of the game. I'm gonna see if
Okay,
I can
guys.
get Reeves to put it in the newsletter.
Oh, geez.
Oh, was Reeves the new fucking was Reeves the Phantom Stranger? What the fuck?
No, it's really
Oh.
not that deep.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Is it
I think-
Joker?
Wait, who did people think was Phantom Stranger? I don't even
Ju-
remember.
I thought it was
Zoom and
Doombot.
Zubaz
It was
are-
me.
Yeah, I was gonna say everyone
to
thought
this
it was
day.
somebody on this podcast. So
Is it somebody on this podcast, you guys?
No.
Oh, wow.
unless
Well,
it's Joker.
Unless it, okay. Well, That's
is
one way
Joker
to
on this
review.
podcast. No, he's not.
That's all right.
It was Joker.
So let's give us something to talk about
Stick
when the game
around
ends.
until next
Is it-
week.
Yeah,
Is it Lil?
Stick around until next
yeah.
week.
It's
I
1
don't
week
know
from
how-
this recording, which this episode probably won't
Maybe
come out
we'll
for
put
a
it
couple
on
days.
Crime
So
Alley.
can I take full credit for beating
Yeah, right.
Lil in Siege?
Is Crime Alley? I thought that was over. Is that still going
It's
on?
very dead.
I mean, I ended it like a year and a half ago.
That's what I
but,
thought. I mean, the episodes only came out like once every year and a half, so I was.
Costly wants to do a last hurrah, and we all said that we would, and then it went the same way that every other Crime Alley went, where we'd be like, yeah, we'll
Nowhere.
get to that, and then nothing happened. But maybe that's where we'll do the reveal, and it'll be the highest rated episode we've ever done.
Well, there you go. I tried to get like everybody for these end of days podcasts, but it's surprisingly difficult to get all the peoples.
I think people are I think they're actually sad. I think
They're
they're
just
just
checked
sad,
out.
and
Yeah.
they don't want to like think about the game being over, and so it's just like,
Well-
it makes them depressed.
On top of being sad,
All right.
there's a group that's very
Alright.
sad, but then there's also a group that like once you stop playing, you're like, I really don't miss it that much.
I'm gonna miss.
Half.
I'm gonna miss VIP because like I remember it kind of being like politics where you'd be like, hey, let me convince this guy and this guy to like back my suggestion to do this toolkit, and so we'd all like vote on it, and we'd send it in and see what happens, and usually they'd take the suggestion.
I never played politics, except for the day I tried to get in, and I tried to suck your dick, Kage, and I regret that immensely.
oh. Well, fun stuff. Since we're leaving stuff out on the table, I'm gonna go ahead and make a small bombshell confession here, which probably isn't going to be that surprising. First things first, I'm not Phantom Stranger. As you might imagine.
What?
Probably. I know. Crazy stuff.
Damn, that's crazy.
But that being said, our three most recent additions being Hawkeye, Zubaz, and Tootie, I did actually break NDA for. But
Yeah, I remember that.
I
it
hope
was
you
for a
get
good
sued
cause.
so hard.
Because I remember I was like, okay, we got whatever kit. I need Zubaz's input on it, and blah blah blah. And I asked Reeves, and Reeves was like, I don't know. Let me ask. And I was like, they could just kick me out if it's a problem. So I got their input, and then I came back to Reeves, and I was like, Reeves, I got their input. And she was like, you shouldn't have done that. And I'm like, well, since I already did it, can I just keep doing it? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. Just don't do it again. And I said, okay, cool. So then I went to Zubaz and Hot Guy, and I was like, hey, you guys, listen. This is like a thing to make sure you're ready for VIP. I'm gonna get your input for 2 more months, and then of course they got in. So obviously I'm doing the Lord's work. And then when it came to Tootie, there's the big vote and everything else and blah blah blah. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. Let's get him in this too. So. Same old, same old. Didn't ask for forgiveness later. At that point, it just didn't matter. So,
Yeah, the game was on its way out, and people were like, yeah, whatever, who cares, just bring him in. And I remember all of us just we just been like, seeing people on Reddit be like, oh, this guy's posting some good takes. You know, we should see if we
I
can
remember
get him into
none of
VIP.
this.
So we'd
This
like
is
see
not-
Hawkeye put kits on, be like,
This is
well,
not
because
the
you were the
way
last one to join.
it happened for
But
me.
we were like, oh, we're like Hawkeye. You know, he's got some pretty sick takes. We should probably get him into VIP.
So going off of what Doom said there, Zubaz was actually responsible for the Supergirl rework. That kit was almost like 90% his work.
Hawkeye,
that's
Hawkeye,
right.
you're the one who
They
invented
give you a
the
different kit. I remember.
Hawkeye
The,
invented the
yeah.
Nightwing kick.
Hawkeye was Nightwing, I was Supergirl, and then both Hawkeye and I worked on Aquagirl the next month.
In fairness,
Yeah.
and to their credit, Nightwing and Supergirl both ended up in S tier. So obviously, I made the right choice.
I
So
invented Cheshire.
I'm just gonna say I'm really sorry about Cheshire. I'm sorry I broke the game.
It's okay.
Luke,
We forgive
goddamn
you.
you.
See, like one of my favorite things about NDA was when we all kind of came through to fix Talon from the original kit they gave us. That was one of the few times they kind of let us do like a complete tear down and rebuild on a kit, and I think he turned out pretty well. If he had been given modern stats when he was
Yeah, it's
introduced
true.
into the game, he would have been a menace.
I liked Talon. He was fun.
Oh, also, I did ask Du Bois' opinion on a lot of Lantern kits.
And they all still suck.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
I know
Another
that
apology to
the boy
me.
had an in somewhere. He knew the kits. I knew that.
I'm really sorry.
I never expected
about
it to be Doom.
Trigon.
Okay, well, in fairness, I didn't ask him about every kit. Just if it was a lantern, I was like, hey, given this vague idea of what the kit might be, I didn't like just hand him the full kit, but I was like, hey, listen, this character's getting maybe hypothetically speaking these things. Would that work, or how would you change that?
Well, they didn't listen to fucking anything about Bleeze, so
Yeah.
I was very excited for WB to sue Doombox this week for breaking his NDA and announcing it. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, they're welcome to try. I'm broke, and so are they. So neither of us can afford lawyers.
I don't know. They released Barbie this year, man. I think they got a little bit
I
of
was gonna
change.
say WB's
Yeah.
got money. The
Yeah,
DCL.
WB does. WB San Francisco doesn't.
well, WB is on. Aren't they actors on strike right now?
Oh, well, there you go. They got bigger things to worry about than me.
I don't think they're worried about us breaking NDA on a game that's going under.
This is as big as it gets, all right?
Yes, this is
this is as close to celebrity as I'll ever be.
You know,
This is
going
right up
back
there with
to
the Kennedy
Phantom Stranger,
assassination.
I can't remember what was posted like at all.
For Phantom Stranger,
Yeah.
he posted all of the he posted essentially like hints that had the exact names of who was getting dropped. Like he didn't say like Jace specifically, but he said, well, he did say names. They were just like not.
They were only mildly harder to get than Joker and Dooms' clues.
Hey, I used to give really hard clues, then everyone got really mad because they were like, we can't figure out these numeric ciphers. What do you mean this relates to a town in China? And I'm like, that's easy. Just use Google and then do it in reverse. No problem. So then I started doing my other hints, and then they're like, oh, these are too easy. So then I make them hard, and they're like, I'm not answering that. That's too difficult. And at that point, I started passing them through you guys, and you guys couldn't figure them out, except for the one time that Kage did, and then I busted his chops like, oh, there's no way Kage would figure it out on the first one. Ha ha ha. And then Zubaz got mad at me for lying. It was an awful time at VIP.
What was the one I cracked? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. It was like 8 months ago, something like that. And then I was like, no, that's wrong. Zubaz guessed a different combination. I told him it was wrong. And then eventually I said, oh, yeah, no, Kage was right. And Zubaz was like, what the hell? And I said, well, you should have assumed I was trolling you. And apparently that's not a valid defense. I mean, he's some kind of lawyer, I guess.
He's a labor lawyer, and there's no such thing as labor anymore.
Ah, that's
Okay,
true.
well, this was a good run.
So wait, as a quick question, just to make sure, was I the Phantom Stranger you were going to reveal?
No.
Okay, good. Okay.
So
Well, then I guess
I know that you've been breaking NDA for God knows how long, but no, you're not the one that was dumb enough to post it on Reddit.
I was saying it really doesn't. I mean, doesn't matter anymore. I think he
Weren't there like two versions of Phantom Stranger? Like there was like a break in between them.
Is this kind of like Ghostface from like in the Scream movies, where like we're trying to figure out who the killer is, and like it turns out to be
All right,
two
it's been
people?
fun, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Right.
What's that?
The true culprit.
Oh, that was
It was Hawkeye.
No, it wasn't Hawkeye. Anyway,
It was Hawkeye and Zubaz. They were the Phantom Stranger.
no, we were the goddamn saviors of this game for the last year and a half. That's what me and Hawkeye were. Tell you what. Yeah, I am gonna go as well, though. This has been lovely.
But we're probably the only
do
people
really-
that care about Phantom Stranger,
Yeah.
by the way. Like the seven of us.
I do. I really appreciate my time with you idiots. It was actually a lot of fun. It really.
We
was.
appreciate your time and all your contributions
No.
to Burger Shack as well.
Yeah, I mean it was great. I had a lot of really good times. I think this game got me through some very difficult times in my life, and that also was in almost exclusively because of the community, not the game itself. So I do genuinely appreciate that. If I am forced to thank anybody for getting me into the NDA group, it would be Kage and Doom. So I will thank them for that. And yeah, in general, I think you guys have been awesome. I think in general that there's a lot of misconceptions about the NDA group, and I would say from an unbiased standpoint, seeing the game of what it was without being an NDA and then seeing it after, I can say with 100% certainty that this group made the game a lot better. I don't, I think there's a lot of people that will never believe that, but it is the honest to God truth that this team worked really hard to make the game better. So I appreciate all of your contributions over the years. And with that, I'm going to get out of here.
Thanks, Zubaz. We
See you,
appreciate you
Zubaz.
coming on.
Absolutely. You guys have a good night.
Thanks for all your hard work on Reddit.
Oh yeah, speaking of, I don't know if they're shuttering the Reddit or not. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I should ask him before he left.
Yeah.
That's a fan-run site, right?
Yeah,
Reddit,
the
yeah.
subreddit is an unofficial subreddit, like I've stated a trillion times. And the things where people are like, oh, we just need to complain here on the Reddit, and then the devs will change things. I'm like, y'all don't understand. We are fan-run. We don't actually get any say. Reeves is here as a courtesy.
Right.
Oh my gosh, speaking of controversies, man, I did not expect this game to have as many as it did.
Well, controversy.
Because we were all dramatic little bitches. That's why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Black Suit Superman. That was an absolute fun time to be running the Reddit.
Oh, everyone's like,
Russian.
oh, I want my gems back because they changed the skin on me. He looked thicker before. What the hell?
That was the Russian one, not the black suit.
Yeah, no, that's Red
Oh,
Sun. You're right. You're right.
oh, what was the black suit then? What was the black suit, Gemma?
There was none.
Yeah, there was none.
Oh.
I'm just stupid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they downgraded the skin, I guess, or something
That
like
was the
that.
red
So
sun.
they made
Yeah.
it look like pajamas.
Yeah. So people lost their shits, and then there was the Kitty Little cosplay banning incident. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Me and Kitty used to, chat a lot, and then
I actually had a
like,
long
oh,
chat with her the other day. I was gonna try to get her on the podcast before it ends too.
Yeah.
She's been doing
I
tons
was like,
and tons
dude,
of cosplay.
Yeah,
pro
like,
level.
dude, I should go to Soviet Russia, then the U.S. sanctioned Russia, and I'm like, oh, I can't go to Russia.
Yeah, I would probably not recommend going there right now.
No.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
not the best time. I hear it's lovely 2 years from now when all this blows over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And-
we're all heading to World War III. So
Geez. Gear 11 happened. That was controversial.
Well, that was
Yeah.
unannounced. It just kind of happened.
And I thought that was good for the game, but overall, they balanced the game out temporarily. Like that was the most balanced the game had been at any point was post Gear 11.
I thought it was post HAL rework, where like everyone was tanky and stuff with the HAL rework and the
That was
Alan Scott
well. HAL was really good post Gear 11 rework, or when Gear 11 dropped, and then it was kind of you were in a good place, and then after the HAL rework, it was in a good spot again for a little while, and then the last like 6 months have been just garbage.
yeah.
I was a little that's probably one of my biggest things I was upset at the whole game, and the balance of it was almost never like balanced ever. Like even at the beginning you had the Arrow Bros who were dominant, and then it was like Reverse Flash, and then DOJ had a short stint, and after that it went fucking crazy. Like it just got worse and
Deathstroke
worse.
Lobo for a while, well, a good while. Then we
Yeah,
had a
Deathstroke and Lobo.
good period for I would say almost a year in between post when Gear 11
And then
dropped.
Wonder Girl hit the fan, and everything was terrible after that.
Well, I guess in fairness, the meta got kind of crazy when Lex got reworked that one January, and it was like, oh, I could just run Lex on any team and then be completely invincible. And it's just like,
He made every team better.
those were the good times when he was S tier. Those, the good days. Honestly, though, I preferred it right beforehand, because, like, I could run a viable Mind team, and it actually worked. Like, Bane was decent, Mira was decent, Aquaman was decent. Like, all these characters were actually really good. And then Gear 11 happened, and then the offensive power rose faster than the defensive power, so everything just started dying too fast again. I was so sad.
Men's haven't worked since Wonder Girl's debut, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ruined a lot of comps for a long time.
Yeah, she still is. Like, and I will say, so even after all of the things in the store became basically free the last month or so, Wonder Girl is still sitting at G0. And I will keep her that way till the end of the game.
You never leveled her?
I never leveled her. I never geared her. She's only L5 because I knew I wasn't going to use her and I wanted all my stars. That's it. She's still, like, the very final character in my roster.
Yeah,
Because she's a bitch.
I still have a few characters I haven't tried yet. That I hadn't played that over the last like 6 months.
I mean, some of them are probably not worth it, like Crypto.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to like mess with them just one time,
Yeah.
2 or 3 matches just to. See.
When Crypto got released, I was like, oh shit, he's a leader. They're going to be releasing the Super Pets here soon. Like, I thought there was going to be a whole team. No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these things had really good setup, and then everything's just done now. Like, yeah, the Super Pets, and then you also had you had Ted Cord now and Blue Beetle, and we were like, oh man, awesome, finally Ted Cord. And in my mind, I was like, oh man, we're
And
gonna
they're
get
good.
like the JSA teams. They will get some decent synergies. Red Tornado might get a rework.
No.
None of it.
They made Blue Beetle good, and they were like, all right, time to shut down the game.
Well, the Ted Cord
Goes
Blue
with the
Beetle,
final thank you.
I hadn't even played with yet, and I hear he's really fun and good. So, and he does lots of stuns. I was like, oh, it's right up my alley.
They did not give me enough tall women. I'm still mad about it. There's so many fantastic options in the world of DC for women over 6'5". I got 3, and that's it. So saddening.
Well, before we wrap this up, Doom, you had a game that you are part of that you wanted to talk about. So tell us a little bit about that one.
Oh, sure. So just to preface it the same way I did pre-show, Genshin Impact, it's a thing, right? So, when it comes to that kind of game, a lot of people enjoy it because it's like that ARPG, go in, smash them around, do cool special moves. Well, One Punch Man is doing the same thing. I think it's, if memory serving, it's One Punch Man World's Strongest. And I am part of their mod team. I'm building their Reddit for them. And all in all, I'm just helping out with the closed beta test in terms of assisting people, fielding complaints and bugs and blah, 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 which there have been surprisingly few. So, real fun game, free to play, all that good stuff. I'm not sure when the open beta is happening yet, but it's going to be announced after the closed beta ends, which I think it ends today. So, I haven't slept in like 4 days, but, that's game life for you. But yeah, I mean, it's a really polished product already out of the gate. It could use some balancing tuning, but outside of that, it's really solid. So if you enjoy similar games to Genshin Impact, where you get to go around as your favorite characters, explore different stories, and see the world from a different lens of what's just in the anime or just in the manga, it could be a really good option to go into. There's multiplayer, there's no PvP yet, though they might introduce it in the open beta. It's just an all-around nice-looking game. So that's what I'm working on right now.
So I just looked that up, and you could pre-register for it on the Apple App Store.
Yeah. It's on mobile, and it's also on PC.
Says it's going to be coming out on March 19th, 2024.
Look at that.
And the game looks really cool. The graphics are top-notch.
Yeah. So, come check that out. That's where I'll be in the probably foreseeable future. If you're interested in enjoying that. Of course, I am still playing DC Heroes and Villains, but like you guys have surmised, really about a 10-minute game each day, so what can you do?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That was really all I was saying. Agreeing.
Yeah,
I think
there's
I'm
just not
done
much
mobile
there.
gaming now, for the most
Me
part.
too. I'm
Like,
done.
It's a money pit, and I put a lot of effort and time into DC Legends, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of there's so much of the world to see, and there's so many better things to spend my money and time on at this point that I think I got it out of my system with DC Legends, and I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I don't know, it was funny because I really stopped playing DC Legends for all intents and purposes for the last 6
Mhm.
months. And then I've kind of been getting the itch to play again a little bit. So maybe it'll come back for you, you never know it. But you're right, mobile gaming is outrageously expensive. Even this stupid DC Heroes and Villains, I've not spent anything even remotely in comparison to DC Legends on it. But these little $10 purchases, you're like, oh, it's only $10, and you'll buy it. But then when you
It
do
adds
it,
up.
yeah, you do a bunch of them, you're like, wow, I owe
It opens a
$200.
door in your soul, and you're like, okay, spending money on this game isn't that big of a deal, and then you just spend hundreds of dollars on
Exactly.
it. And you're like, fuck
Next
me.
thing you know, you spent $200, and while that's pennies compared to what I spent on DC Legends, you're like, it's still $200 on a game that
Yeah.
you don't even care about.
It's kind of like, when I, find OnlyFans for the first time, and you're like, oh, it's only a $10 purchase. And then you're like, oh shit, I'm like $2,000 deep.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah,
Let me cancel all this.
Yeah, and $200 buys you so much more in any other gaming world. So
Speaking of $200, if I run into any of you guys in real life one day, I'll be like, hey, let's get some beers or whatever.
on you.
I don't drink, but thank you.
I do drink, but I don't put up $200 tabs. I normally clock out at 35. I'm a cheap date.
I just spent $200 a day probably in Helen on bar tabs.
Jesus
Easily.
Yeah, down in Florida, it's probably pretty expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I can get out of a restaurant without spending $200. So.
Yeah, that's why I moved up north, man. My rent went from $1,900 a month to $750 a month. It's so nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What are these
That
dogs
is
barking at?
so cheap.
I know. For a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, it's really not
That's
bad.
insane.
Jesus.
That is
I live in a
crazy.
studio for $1,000.
Dude, I charge my cheapest bedroom is like $850. That's crazy.
Hang on one second. I gotta see what these dogs are barking at.
Jeez, Kage, going full landlord, I see. My goodness.
Oh, inflation.
I mean, for 1 bedroom, $850. Then again, you do live in like an expensive place, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
So
never
I guess
heard of
so.
anyone segmenting a house by bedroom price. Like, I normally just like a group of people rent the house for the price, and then they divvy it up themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, you get a whole ass kitchen, a whole ass like room service. You get
room service
house
from your
cleaning.
house?
room service.
What?
I do room service for my guests. I do, I clean up.
Do you make a
I
B&B
do house
or
cleaning. Yeah, my house is kind of run like an Airbnb.
no, like a bed and breakfast?
Yeah, I do full service at my house for $850. You get a lot for $850 at my house.
Dang.
I thought you just like rented it out for people to live at.
I do, but I also offer full service, housekeeping, everything.
Interesting.
Man, for $850, yeah, actually, that sounds like a bargain.
Yeah, and the room comes fully furnished. So like you don't spend anything for your own like furniture. You just kind of wander in. Oh, cool! A closet, a bed, cool.
Well, I'm sure this is riveting to our audience. So,
Yeah.
on that note, guys, any
It is
last words?
time to shut it down.
Any last words for DC Legends?
Back
For
the
DC
truck up.
Legends.
Doom,
It
let's
was a
start
roller
with you.
coaster ride, but thank you.
Dude, back the truck up. Come on, say it.
Back the truck up!
He said the thing. Ah.
I know that reference.
Any last words, Doom?
Yeah. You know what? 7 years is a very long time, especially in the mobile gaming market. That's like an insane amount of time. Like, I think I'm playing one game that lived longer than that one, which is Marvel Puzzle Quest, just past 10 years. Outside of that, I've seen so many games come in and then leave within 2 years, if that. Lots of games don't even make it out of beta. So for this game to survive this long, and honestly, even with my gripes with it, a very good game for what it is. All things considered, I've seen much worse put together games in this genre. So I salute DCL on its way out. Honestly, this game gave me so many memories, so many acquaintances, even a few friends. Gave me the valuable experiences of running the Reddit, being the head of my community, which is a fantastic community, being the first VIP and then seeing it build into some amalgamation of just terrible people and some redeemable ones. All in all, it has been probably the best experience of my life outside of marriage. I will say that. I've done a lot of stuff. I've played a lot of games. I've been on this earth for some 30 years, but these past 7s are probably some of the brightest. So, thank you, DCL.
Thanks, Doom. You will always be a special character in this game, and I'm sure we'll stay in contact loosely, if nothing else, with different games as they come and go. Hopefully, we all find a game that we all flock to that's worthy, that isn't a money pit, but...
Right. Doom was the only sticker that I ever bought from WROL. I put it on my car. And it is long gone, so is that car, but...
You know what, Tootie? As much as I pretended to hate you for the longest time, I deeply respect all the work you've put into this community, and I say that from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Kage.
Dude, I'm gonna miss sharing my escapades with the whole owl chat.
Well,
I'm gonna.
when you slowed down and we didn't have your lady men to
Yeah.
pick on you about, it got boring.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss, pulling out my phone and playing DCL in bed next to someone. They'd be like, "What the fuck game is that?" And I'd be like, "I'm playing DC Legends. You want to see?"
They're like, not really.
They're like, "Oh, my Uber's here."
Yeah. We argued so much nonsense on this game. It was great.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised at how long it lasted despite how many fucking bugs there were. Like, the exuberant amount of bugs this game had, and yet the community was like, yeah, we hate
Whatever.
that, but we're going to continue playing it. I was like, wow.
Well, we did always say this was like a very dysfunctional marriage, that abusive, where it was just, all they had to do was just say or do one nice thing, and we just forgave them for all their sins. So,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
so yeah.
Lou, you gave me my first Xbox. I mean, I'm gonna remember you for the rest of my life, dude.
I did send you an Xbox. That's true. That happened.
Well, guys, wait, hold on. I don't want to
Right.
leave because Zubez is typing, and I wanted to see if he was going to tell us about what was going to happen with the Reddit, because I'm sure he'll make a post on Reddit about Reddit, but I figured I'd. Well, Zubez did give final words too,
Yeah.
which I
Fuck,
did.
I didn't.
I did also lobby heavily for him in VIP, by the way. They said to keep it
Current
open
plan
for.
is that Marcus and I agreed on is to keep it open for a month after the game to see, and then we'll make a decision. We can archive it or leave it going.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, if the game's not here, who's going to use it? So kind of. Unless.
Probably Silver Fox.
Yeah.
So Pro Fox is gonna post his art.
Okay, he says, my final words will be for another venue, but thanks. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, guys, it's been swell. I have all your phone numbers, so I'll just hit you up whenever.
Yep. All right, guys. It's been real.
Take care.
Take care.
Take care. Be trashy.
Hi, this is Renee Sylvia 88, DC Legends moderator. Thank you for listening to this episode of WROL Broadcast. If you like the show, please check out patreon.com/WROL Broadcast and find out how to get cool perks. And for those of you who didn't know, Tootie Tron is a freaking princess.